Learning to manage money can be one of the most difficult lessons to learn as a college student. Coming up, we'll show you how one group on campus hosted several events this week to help students get out of the red and stay in the black.
Some potential future Red Raiders made their way to campus over the weekend to spend some time with someone they love. We'll have the details on the 2020 edition of Sibling Weekend.
And Texas Tech's softball team has finally made its way back to Rocky Johnson Field for their home opener. But could the Red Raiders pull off a win in front of a friendly crowd? We've got a look at the highlights from that game and more in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the MCTV Weekday Update. I'm Madison Hartin.
And I'm Krizia Williams. Texas Tech students face many stressors each day as they work towards earning a college degree.
That's right, Krizia. And even though the cause of most stresses centers around coursework, money can also be a concern for students as they prepare for life after college. Through the week, Red to Black Peer Financial Coaching has spent time in the sub to give helpful advice to students looking for ways to manage their money. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and today, representatives from Red to Black set up a table outside Barnes & Noble in the sub from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in recognition of America Saves Week. Each day features a different theme, and yesterday's event was titled Sunny Savings for Rainy Days. Passers-by could stop and learn about how to create an emergency fund and save money for a rainy day. Red to Black also had plenty of swag on hand, along with a game where students could toss a ping pong ball in a cup to get helpful tips on saving money. Attendees were also encouraged to sign a pledge to better manage their money and encourage their friends and family to do the same. Even though America Saves Week wrapped up today, Red to Black Financial Coaching is always available to students looking for help with their finances. To find out more about Red to Black or schedule an appointment to meet up with a financial coach, visit r2b.ttu.edu.
Graduation is just under 3 months away, and that means some seniors are in panic mode to get everything in order before they walk the stage. With that in mind, one university group held a special event to give graduating seniors a one-stop shop for all their commencement needs. The spring edition of the graduation fair kicked off on Tuesday at the McKenzie Market Alumni Center. The biannual fair was held from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. through today. The fair is hosted by the Texas Tech Alumni Association to give students the chance to meet up with the representatives from various campus groups and all in one place.
Things here like getting your cap and gown, getting your class ring, you can sign up to get $100 or $1,000 back when you graduate. The credit union's here, the yearbook is here, and there's also pictures that you can get taken here as well. So just a little bit of everything.
The graduation fair is held each fall and spring at the McKenzie Market Alumni Center. Even though this semester's fair is already over, seniors still have plenty of time to get all the details in order before graduation in May. Just visit commencement.ttu.edu for more information. This past weekend, current Tech students had the chance to show off their campus home to potential next generation of Red Raiders during an annual event. Sibling Weekend took place on Friday and Saturday here on the Tech campus. The two-day event featured a list of activities for current students and their families to enjoy. One of Saturday's events was Pop-In at the Sub, which featured inflatable games, crafts, and more for families to spend some time together and have some fun. The goal of last weekend's event was to help students catch up with their loved ones who they might not have seen since the holidays.
A lot of it is just that reconnection, getting them excited about seeing their older sibling who's here on campus, like doing what they love, being in a place that they enjoy being in. So it's very cool to see them kind of just grasp onto those moments with each other.
Along with Saturday's event at the Sub, Siblings Weekend also included a pep rally, a lecture from a college professor, a pizza dinner, and even a stay in an on-campus residence hall. Siblings Week takes place each year in the spring. After a warm start to the week, winter has made a return to the Tech campus. Temperatures have dropped constantly since Monday, and the wind has made it feel even colder outside. So, will the roller coaster of winter conditions continue into the weekend? Madison joined us now with the latest look at the forecast. Madison?
Thanks, Krizia. Well, Texas Tech, I'm over here in the other part of our studio today, here to give you weather. That's what happens when half the IMCOM building is down sick right now. You have to improvise and you have to do multiple jobs. And I think the reason everyone is so sick right now, or even if it's not the reason that everyone is so sick right now, is these freezing cold that we're experiencing. Right now, looking out at our MCTV tower cam, we can see that the skies are extremely overcast right now, and you can't really see it, but there is a lot of wind out there that is just making it feel all the more colder. Our high temperature for the day only climbed up to 41 degrees, breezy and cold, like I said, overcast skies, and the wind is coming from the northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. For tonight, the low temperature is going to drop back down below freezing. 22 degrees is going to be our low. Cloudy and cold conditions and an east by southeasterly wind coming at 5 to 15 miles per hour. With these cold temperatures, we won't be seeing any return to any winter-like conditions over the next few days, especially not any winter precipitation. We were expecting a chance of it last night, but all we saw was a little bit of mist and drizzle outside. Going into tomorrow, we can see that our low temperatures are going to be just a tiny bit higher, a low of 24 for Lubbock metropolitan area that day, so just the slightest bit warmer, but not too much. And our warmest temperatures are going to be out east of us. Our warm temperatures are going to climb up a little bit for the South Plains. We're expecting about the mid-40s to about the 50s for the South Plains area. So again, just a little bit warmer than we were experiencing today, but not by much. But with this temperatures, we'll take anything we can get that's slightly warmer. Bringing it back into Lubbock locally, we can see for tomorrow we have a high of 48 degrees, low of 35, and a south by southwesterly wind coming at 10 to 15 miles per hour, with the overcast skies still continuing for that day. For Saturday, again, overcast skies with a high of 65 and a low of 44 degrees. So it's a good thing over the next few days we won't be dropping back into freezing temperatures, and a south by southwesterly wind coming at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Now there is a light at this metaphorical tunnel. For Sunday, we are going to be experiencing a high of 69 degrees, a low of 39, and of course the sunshine will be returning to us with mostly clear skies for that day. But the thing about that day is, even though it's going to be sunny outside, the wind is going to be off the charts. West by southwesterly wind coming at 25 to 35 miles per hour, with possible wind gusts as high as 45 miles per hour. So definitely don't wear a hat or any flowy dresses that day, as you might be losing your hat or pulling a Marilyn Monroe if you try to walk outside. I'm Madison Hartin for MCTV Weather. Back to you in the studio, Krizia.
Thanks, Madison. The Texas Tech men's basketball team was back in action last night at the United Supermarkets Arena after a tough weekend on the road. The Red Raiders took on the Kansas State Wildcats, and with hopes of improving their conference record at home. The Wildcats are currently sitting in last place in conference, but they kept things close throughout the game. Tech went into halftime only leading by 3 points, but the Red Raiders finally began to pull away in the second half. After a series of free throws and three-point shots, Texas Tech took home the win 69 to 62. Up next, the Red Raiders finish their run through the bottom half of the conference as they head to Ames, Iowa to take on Iowa State on Saturday. Tip-off is set for 5 p.m. and the game will be televised on ESPNU.
On the women's side, the Lady Raiders also return home this week to face one of the toughest opponents of this year's schedule. The number 2 ranked Baylor Lady Bears made a stop at the United Supermarkets Arena on Tuesday night. Baylor was looking for an easy win, but the Lady Raiders kept things neck and neck until the fourth quarter. The Lady Raiders were on their way to a possible upset when Baylor finally knocked it into gear and outscored Tech 25 to 10 in the fourth quarter. At the end of the night, the Lady Bears came out on top, 77 to 62. Brittany Brewer put up 19 points and 14 rebounds on the night, making it for her 12th double-double of the season and the 6th game of 15 points or more. Lexi Gordon also had a big night, scoring 17 points. The Lady Raiders head back on the road this weekend as they also take on Iowa State Cyclones in Ames. The game is set for Sunday at 2 p.m. There's no TV coverage, but you can keep up with the stats and scores by visiting texastech.com.
The Texas Tech women's softball team started off this year with their highest preseason ranking in school history. Since then, the Red Raiders have had some ups and downs as they spent the last 2 weeks on the road. But this week, they finally made their way home for opening weekend. On Tuesday, Tech took on Kent State at Rocky Johnson Field. The team was fired up as they finally had home field advantage. That energy resulted in the Red Raiders scoring 9 runs to Kent State's 1. And the game ended early in the 5th with a run rule finish. Junior Brianna Russell and Kelsey Leach led the team with 2 hits and 2 RBIs, but they were only 2 of 7 total Red Raiders to score a hit during the game. Junior Aaron Edmondson held Kent State at 2 hits and 1 run and improved her starting record to 5-1. The Red Raiders will head back out on the road again this weekend for the Houston Challenge. The team will face a total of 5 opponents through Sunday, starting with Princeton on Friday night. First pitch is set for 1 p.m. and the team will stream the game on their Facebook page. Just search for the handle Texas Tech SB. And on the other side of the diamond, the #1 ranked Red Raider baseball team hopes to extend their winning streak as they head to Round Rock to face the toughest competition of their season so far. Tech will kick off their run in the tournament on Friday night against Tennessee at the Dell Diamond at 7 p.m. There's no broadcast coverage for the game, but all the weekend's action will be available via subscription on flowbaseball.tv. This week's return to the cold temperatures has most students looking for ways to stay warm.
That's right, Krizia. And if a jacket and gloves weren't enough to cure your chills, one campus department had another option that included a warm treat and some friendly competition. Texas Tech Hospitality Services hosted the 7th annual chili cook-off yesterday afternoon in the sub ballroom. Starting at 11 a.m., teams from campus dining halls brought in slow cookers full of their homemade chili creations for attendees to sample. For $6, anyone in the Tech community could sample all of the entries, vote for their favorite, and then enjoy a bowl of chili of their choice with all the toppings. At the end of the event, the team from the market at Stengel Murdo were named the winners of this year's competition. That same winning chili has also been made available to students as an option today in the Stengel Murdo dining hall.
So Madison, do you plan on heading to the market to grab some chili?
You know, it's been really cold the past couple days like we said earlier, and I think I could use a nice little warm pick-me-up before I go home tonight.
Same. That's all for today's edition of the MCTV Weekday Update.
Thanks so much for joining us, and be sure to check ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you next week.